starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neal as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord.
Tonight, a tragedy in the Peyton house, and across town, a shock wave of reaction. Rita Harrington is being taken to Doctor's Hospital in the care of Dr. Michael Rossi after she collapsed in the square and fell into the arms of her husband, Norman. Rita saw her father, Eddie Jacks, get out of a police car across the way at the courthouse. Eddie was handcuffed to a policeman. Rita instinctively rushed outside, ran across the snow-covered square, trying to intercept her father, trying to understand what had happened. Then she collapsed.
Hello.
Oh, Mr. Carson, this is Sergeant Walker.
Yes.
You asked me to call you whenever anything came up.
Well, what is it, Sergeant?
Eddie Jacks has been arrested at the Peyton house on suspicion of murdering Mrs. Van Lyten.
Mrs. Van Lyten?
That's right.
When's the arraignment?
Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'll get down to the station as quick as I can. Thanks very much for the call, Sergeant. Gosh, Adrienne Van Lyten is dead.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. They found her at the bottom of the staircase at the Peyton house, was all.
Was it a fall? Whose arraignment?
They're booking Eddie Jacks on suspicion of murder. He was discovered standing over the body.
Why would Eddie Jacks want to harm that girl? Do you think he ever knew her before?
I don't know. I don't know all the answers.
Yesterday, she seemed so desperate. Today, she's dead. Oh, it's horrible. Just horrible.
Yes, I know it is. But in a way, it's inevitable, you know.
I don't understand.
Well, I've known women like her before. They're greedy. They're ambitious. They crave excitement. They're like frantic moths, you know. They keep fluttering in and out of the flames. And they don't live very long. Eventually, it catches up with them.
Maybe.
Oh, come on now. Can you really see Adrienne Van Lyten as a housewife or as a mother?
She told me she wanted children when she was a little girl.
When she was a little girl. Before she had the time to add up the cost and decide it just wasn't worth it. That she had a lot more important things to do besides change diapers and wipe runny noses.
Elliot.
It's true, honey. Some women, from the very first time they put on lipstick, they're raging towards their own self-destruction. I think Adrienne Van Lyten was one of them.
She wasn't one of anything. She was a woman and she died much too young.
You mean from a fall or a push down the staircase instead of sleeping pills or spinning out on a wet curb? If she was as desperate as you say she was, well, then why did she stay? Why didn't she run?
People get trapped.
Well, they trap themselves. I'm not saying that her death isn't important, but it doesn't shock me.
If we stop being shocked by death and destruction there really isn't much point in living.
What's the word, Dr. Rossi?
2 words. Bed and rest. Maybe I should make it 3. Absolute bed rest.
Is it that bad?
Maybe I should say yes to frighten you into behaving yourself.
I will, I promise.
I've heard that story from you before, young lady, and that's why I'm not taking any more chances.
How long am I going to have to stay in the hospital?
Well, it depends on how good you are. I've been known to let people off for good behavior. What is it?
another twitch thing, like I had in the ambulance on the way over here. Stopped for a while, but now it started again.
Well, I'm going to let Norman come in and say goodnight to you, but I want him to keep it brief, you understand, so you can get plenty of rest.
Okay.
Norman?
How is she?
Well, she's in fair condition.
What do you mean in fair condition? That's like saying she's resting comfortably.
Well, it's important that she rest comfortably. I mean, the more she rests, the less she worries, and the better chances are that the baby will be fine. Now, you can go in and say goodnight to her, but look, be brief. Encourage her, but don't overdo it. Don't let her start worrying about her father.
No, no.
Miss Choate. Miss Choate, pick up on line 4, please.
Well, it's Rita's dad. How is she? She's okay. What'd you find out? Eddie Jacks has been arrested on suspicion of murder. I just left the police station.
Well, what happened? What?
It's Adrienne Van Lyden. She's dead. They found her in my grandfather's house.
What was going on between Adrienne and Eddie?
I don't know.
Well, you talked to him, didn't you?
No, I didn't. He's in jail. They're arraigning him tomorrow morning.
Well, can't you go in and see him?
No, they didn't let me.
Why not?
Because they don't hold open house there, Norman.
Hold it down, will you?
Rita's going to ask about her father. What am I going to tell her?
Well, you're just going to have to keep this from her, that's all. Just don't mention it, you understand?
You're going to have to tell her a lie.
Look, if there's any danger at all, that she suspects that you're not telling the truth, then don't even go into the room. Norman, listen to me. We're going to try and save your baby.
Dr. Feeling, call emergency. Dr. Feeling.
Hi. Well, what'd he say?
The doctor? Oh, well, he said as soon as you get over your mental problem, everything's going to be all right.
My mental problem?
Yeah, when you stop thinking that you're Liza running through the snow barefooted.
Very funny. Now, what'd he really tell you?
Quote, she needs absolute bed rest and everything's going to be fine, I guarantee you, unquote. Now, does that sound like what the doctor told you?
The exact same words. I just wanted to be sure he wasn't lying.
See, now, all you got to do is learn to be more trusting.
Look where that got me. Norm, did you find out about my father?
Yeah, I got the whole story.
Oh, why'd they arrest him?
Well, well, it was some kind of a misunderstanding between he and the White River Vice Squad.
The Vice Squad?
Yeah. He got picked up on a gambling raid, you know, shooting craps. Baby needs a new pair of shoes. Wait till your mom finds out he acted like he was sick just to get out of work.
Did anyone call her?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe not. Gambling's not that serious. He'll get out. You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
No, I suppose you can't.
Well, I'd better go. I'll see you the first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning.
How'd it go?
Fine. I made up some kind of a wild story.
Why, do you think she believed it?
Yeah?
Okay, I'm going to go inside, give her some medication, make sure she gets some sleep. Hey, you get some sleep yourself, will you?
What's going to happen when she finds out I lied?
Well, come on, I'll drive you home.
Rita, what are you doing?
Well, I was just going to use the...
Come on, lie back in bed. Come on, get in.
I just sat up to make a phone call.
I don't want any excuses. What phone call is so important that you have to disobey my orders?
I want to find out about my father.
Here, take one of these. Your father's a grown man. He can certainly take care of himself a lot better than your unborn child. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
All right, take that. Drink all the water. All of it. Now, you asked me before if the situation were that bad. All right, I'll tell you. Yes, it is. So you're going to have to stay in bed. You can't even sit up. If you need something, buzz for it. And no phone calls. Just take this. You just lie there and think, what a wonderful mother you're going to be.
guy's gonna wrap up so we can get some sleep around here.
When we finished?
Hey, look, fellas, I know you're not too late on your feet, but keep it quiet. Mr. Peyton isn't feeling too well.
Who is it?
It's Lee, sir.
Come in, Lee.
Time to take your pills, sir.
Well, give me a brown one, too.
A brown one? You're not supposed to take those brown ones until after breakfast.
Well, I feel like one now.
You sure you don't want me to call Dr. Rossi?
No.
All right. One of your brown ones? Those cops are sure making a lot of noise down there, aren't they?
They're only doing their job.
Yeah, but they always seem to make it a habit of jumping all over people when they do it.
I'm glad they're there. I'm glad they've got Eddie Jacks behind bars where he can't get out.
Yeah, but you don't need them. You've got me.
I still can't comprehend it. Mrs. Van Leyden, dead. Why, Lee? Why?
I don't know. She probably got in his way or something.
Precisely. She wasn't meant to die. He was after me.
After you?
He didn't bring that wrench into the house to break into my safe. Lee, what would have happened if she hadn't stood in his way?
Well, you'd be dead.
Uh-huh. And you'd be charged with my murder.
Yeah, that's right. That punk. Why did you make me call the cops? Why didn't you give me 5 minutes alone with him? Just 5 minutes. That's all it would have taken. And you wouldn't be bothered by that bum for the rest of your life.
To pick you, Lee, of all people, to blame for my death.
Yeah.
And he could have succeeded. That's the frightening part of it. With me dead, killed by your wrench, you on the premises. Why, Lee, you were close to being where Eddie Jacks is now.
You're right. You know, it all fits. Him bird-dogging me and following me around like I knew where the gold was buried. Asking all those questions. Do you know that he asked me to take him up there?
Up where?
On the road where we drive every day. I guess he wanted to see the layout, maybe finish you off with no witnesses. Just me, the patsy of the year.
But why should he want me dead?
Huh?
I mean, what would he gain by it?
I don't know. You tell me.
Lee, from your association with him, does he strike you as the kind of man who had planned a bold action like a murder?
Eddie Jacks? Nah, he was just all mouth.
Then perhaps he's not alone in this.
You think so? Well, who else?
That's for us to find out. You and I. And when we do, I'll need your protection more than ever.
You got it. Anything you want done, just let me do it.
Thank you, Lee.